Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you're all doing super well. I'm back after taking around 2 weeks off YouTube, so I'm very excited because I'm actually back with a Marangoni video. A video about the famous fashion school called Istituto Marangoni. It's a school I went to for 4 years and I have a whole playlist about my experience and I've answered so many questions about this school already on my channel, so I invite you to go check it out if you haven't yet. But I decided to film a new one like that because it's been a while that I haven't filmed one and I don't really get any more questions, and since things change a lot, like I actually finished my master's degree, I think it ended end of 2019, so things have changed already a lot since then, so I feel like I cannot really talk too much about Istituto Marangoni now, but I can tell you also what I learned from it, that I acquired, like the skills I acquired and how I use it in my daily life, work life, professional life, because I've learned a lot at this school, and I figured this type of video doesn't maybe exist yet, or maybe it does, I have no idea, but I've never seen one like that. So I figured it could be interesting for you guys. Keep in mind that today it's very hot and it's very cloudy too, so the light might change a bit, and I'm also very sweaty because I had to turn off the ventilator so it's not too loud for you guys, but I'm like dying right now, so I hope the video won't be too long. So basically I'm going to talk about the different aspects of fashion school and especially Istituto Marangoni that helped me now in my professional life. For you guys, just to give you a quick background, I've been working, if we count internships as well, 3 years and a half, 4 years nearly, in different industries. I've worked for an international organization, I've worked for an online magazine, I'm working now for a tech company, TikTok, that I think all of you guys know, and I am working in operations right now, but I've worked a lot in marketing and digital communication before, especially social media, content creation, that type of stuff. I've worked in different fields already. I don't have a lot of experience yet, of course, but I figured I could give you guys my, let's say, feedback on my whole experience at that school. Was it really worth it? You know, like what did I actually learn there that I can use now? So I'm going to introduce really quickly what I did at Marangoni. So if you already know, or if you're not interested, please skip a few minutes ahead because yeah, I'm going to talk a few minutes right now about that. So I actually went to Istituto Marangoni Milan and I was there for 4 years. I did the 3-year course first and then I did the master course. The 3-year course was called Fashion Communication and New Media. I literally went there when they just started it and it was all about fashion communication basically. So we had PR classes, journalism, we had Photoshop classes, we learned all the Adobe softwares like InDesign, Photoshop for sure, and we also used a few Adobe softwares for video editing because we did learn how to edit videos, like the base, I would say. It was never like, it's not like at a very professional level, like I can edit easy videos, right? Like for YouTube. But we still learned that. And I had also obviously classes about fashion. We had fashion history. We learned about the fashion system. We learned also about cinema because it influences fashion. You guys, if you're into fashion, you know that fashion is inspired by literally everything. Politics, nature, art, cinema, everything, music. So it's very important to have, I would say, a good idea of what's going on, or to watch a few iconic films like movies that could influence fashion, all that stuff, and obviously fashion history is important. So that was a little bit the 3-year course how it was. Nowadays I believe it does not exist anymore. I think they called it fashion business because they've mixed communication and business together, which I think is very smart because we, I guess, didn't get to really learn the business side. And then the 1-year course master, I did fashion promotion, communication and media, which was an extension of the 3-year course. The course was really similar, just like an extension and a master format, let's say. So it was a little bit harder, let's say. So basically, now I'm going to tell you a few things. I have my phone somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Here it is. I thought it was on the table, where I put a few points. So I'm going to talk more about the course first and then about the actual school and fashion. The very first thing is I chose a course, and I feel like if you do fashion business, it's kind of similar, that you can literally apply to any field. And I'm the living proof of that since I've never really actually worked for fashion. Like, I haven't worked in fashion yet. I haven't worked for an actual fashion magazine or a fashion brand or anything fashion related or luxury related for that matter. I'm kind of showing that even though it was focused on fashion, Marangoni definitely did help me develop my communication skills. It really helped me develop that kind of communication, marketing skills, which I literally was able to use in any field. So that's really the advantage of taking a course there, I think. Like, sure, it's gonna be focused on fashion and luxury, but don't worry, because even if you want to go, I don't know, in the sports industry, in politics, like I did, like international organization, they will always always need someone for like social media, PR, all that stuff. And fashion is actually a pretty tough industry. You need to be really good and strong to be in that industry. So I think that going to a fashion school and doing fashion communication or fashion business there actually helps you get ready for anything afterwards. So I would say that this was really a great decision for me, and I don't regret going there. I would definitely say go for it, because I think you will acquire extra skills that maybe another university that is just focused on communication in more of a general aspect might not give you. So as I said, since I did fashion communication, we learned a lot about Photoshop and InDesign, which is something I've been using since. Not only for like my own personal projects, like for example my YouTube channel, I use that for my thumbnails. I know how to edit things to what I learned at Istituto Marangoni, but I use it also for like other personal projects, and definitely in my work life. I've always used Photoshop, for example, for when I was working for the online magazine. I have a whole video about that, actually. I did it last year. Now a little bit less, because what I'm doing is less communication marketing, so I don't really use Photoshop. But the fact that I developed these kind of creative skills, aesthetics, like the sense of aesthetic, thanks to Photoshop, but also thanks to being in a fashion school, obviously, because you're surrounded by anything aesthetic, creativity, like people from all over the globe that have different tastes and different styles and ideas. So the mix of all of this means that I am quite comfortable doing very creative things. I know how to use Photoshop, which is like a huge skill to have. Like if you can say to a recruiter, I know how to use Photoshop really well, or InDesign, they will be very interested, I can tell you that. If we talk more about the fashion aspect, learning about the fashion system, fashion history. So these classes, they actually made me more aware of things, let's say in general. Like fashion system is maybe more for really people who are interested in fashion and want to do something, like want to be a fashion professional, of course. But fashion history, we were talking about just history in general as well. I think it's skills that I can use for anything nowadays, and as a person I think it's really great to know. Like they do a 360 thing. They're not only gonna teach you journalism and PR, all that stuff, which is obviously things you need to know. They're also gonna teach you about fashion, which of course you're gonna tell me it's fashion school, but I think the way they did it was so well done and smart. The very first year, the bachelor or 3-year course is like this. I don't know if it's still the same, but to me it was great, because now I'm able to like see a certain silhouette and be like, oh, that's inspired from this, that, or this movie inspired this fashion show. I think this is such a great thing. And we also had another thing which was called subcultures, and that was so cool too, because you learn about subcultures. So, you know, like for example, the mod style, these type of things I learned at Marangoni, and nowadays I can use it in just my daily life as a human being, let's say, and it can really help me also for my professional life. So I think that's an aspect that you might not get in every university, since that was really fashion related. Another thing about fashion school that is really nice is that you obviously get to know a little bit how the fashion industry works. And the fashion industry is fast paced, it's up to date, you have to be on the go, you have to know what's up, you have to be fast, you have to know a lot of things. My PR class, like the teacher, we had to read the newspaper every Sunday, because there was a section about fashion, the fashion news of the week, and she was really like telling us you have to do it. If you don't do it even 1 week, you are off the loop and you don't know what's going on. And if you are in PR or journalism especially, you're out. Like you need to know what's going on. You need to know if there's a change of designer, you need to know if there's a change of I don't know, if a brand sold to a certain group. All of these things you need to keep up to date. So this, I think I learned a lot to stay up to date with things, stay up to date with trends, and it helps a lot if you want to be in social media, because fashion and social media, they're both fast paced, they're go, they can be very last minute, you have to find perfect solutions last minute sometimes. And then the last aspect, I mean, I could go of course in the actual classes, if you're interested in me going like deep diving into each class and telling you, okay, I learned this from that, I can do it, but this is more of a general thing. It's especially for you guys who are not sure if you want to do fashion communication at Istituto Marangoni or in just another school and just do communication. This is really for you guys who are hesitating about the school, let's say. So the last thing that I learned, and I think this is something that again as a human will help you a lot, and I think in professional life helps me a lot too, it's to accept literally everyone and every single creative idea. Of course there will be ideas that will fail, especially if you're again in communication and you do campaigns and stuff, there will be ideas that will fail, But the fact that I was in a school where all ideas were accepted and you were actually encouraged to talk about your ideas, to share your taste about this or your style and stuff like that. I was in a school like this where everybody had to express themselves, express their aesthetic and find their aesthetic too in a way. But also test a few things, like not be scared, you know, be brave and courageous with that. So I was in a school like this and it helped me a lot after to not only me present my ideas, whether for social media or for any other thing that I did for my professional life, but also just as for myself. I think, you know, I started my YouTube after Marangoni, and that kind of helped me be like, okay, I have things to say, I have things to share, and it really opened that to me. So I think that going to fashion school like this one, where you are really, you're with the best people out there, the best professors, professionals, fashion professionals. You are with students that are, of course not all of them, but most of them, those students are passionate about fashion. They want to do this, they want to go for it, they have such great aesthetic and style and creativity. So when you're so much with people like that, automatically you become a bit like this too. And I think I've kept that a lot also in my professional life. I would say that that's really the one reason why I would say, if you have the possibility to go there, go there. Like, I only have positive things to say about the school, to be honest. I would have maybe a few little negative things, but I think it's more related to organization, like the way sometimes the school organized a few things. But that's really something I would say helped me a lot. And in addition to that, I just wanted to quickly add an extra point too. Since Marangoni does offer possibilities to go to fashion shows and events and all of that and be around influencers, fashion professionals, models, all of the people that make the fashion industry, the advantage of this is that afterwards, whenever you have any type of work event, you are ready, because fashion is scary. The fashion world is scary, especially when you're new to it, when you just arrived, you're a student, you're young, you didn't really figure out your style yet, which was me basically. You're not very confident and all of that, and you're invited to those crazy events where people are like looking amazing, freaking models out of magazines. They know everything about fashion, and they're professionals, and they're just, yeah, they're great basically, you know, they know everything. When you go to events like these or fashion shows and you meet these people, you're like, okay, nothing can really stop you. It's like entering a luxury store. Like, honestly, you need to just go for it and do it. And once you do it, afterwards you can just go again and you're not scared of anything anymore. You'll enter any possible store out there once you do that. So yeah, that's kind of like the final point of, I don't know if it makes much sense, but overall that's what my experience was at Marangoni. So I don't know if you guys are still interested to go after this video. Definitely, if you want me to film another video, if you have questions, drop them down below. I could do another Q&A, why not? Otherwise, if you want me to talk more about the specific classes that helped me, I could definitely do that. This was more to talk about the school in general, but I'm totally down to do more videos about Marangoni. It's just that I really need you guys to tell me what you want to see. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. It's very long. I'm super sweaty. I'm getting ready for brunch right now, so I'm gonna head out very soon. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to go check out my playlist so you can watch all of the other videos too. I think it will be interesting for you guys. And I will see you normally next week in my next video. Bye everyone.